Friends, welcome to a current affairs series. In fact, that is brief information at the same time, multiple choice questions for our UPSC, CLAT, AILET, Staff Selection Commission, any exam. So fantastic data is there, and I've taken from All India Radio News and DD News, called as PIB, Press Information Bureau of this wonderful country. So the same thing is that, my youngsters, nowadays, of course, you observe that even have uploaded one short also in this case. Even in 2026 UPSC, what happened, you know that one. So that's what PIB is a very crucial one. Now come to the point. Yeah, luckily, okay, it is the question number 26 it is showing here. A very important question. In fact, the 30th of May. What's the specialty of that, sir? Yeah, the same thing here. See, 27th, I'll start, my youngsters. Goa Statehood Day is observed on. Goa Statehood Day is observed on option A, 26th January, 30th May, and 15th August and 19th December. But the answer is 30th May. So I want to give you the complete information upon this one. So just I'll go back to the basic data which I've collected. So now come to the point here that this is what actually better. Yes, Goa Statehood Day and historical significance. Yes, Goa celebrated its statehood day on 30th May, marking its transformation into India's 25th state in 1987. Remember, Goa's political journey is unique in Indian history. After remaining under Portuguese rule for more than 4 centuries, it was liberated through the name of the operation I'm writing here, Operation Vijay in 1961. Remember here, a significant milestone came in 1967 when Goans voted in the historic opinion poll to preserve Goa's distinct identity rather than merge with Maharashtra. This is a very important point, of course, you remember, please. So there is which year, please? 1967. You can say that is, of course, major point is opinion poll. Whether you would have to be with the Maharashtra or individual state, like that is the concept. The recognition of Konkani as the official language further strengthened demand for statehood. Yeah, today, Goa is known not only for tourism, but also for achievements in education, technology, entrepreneurship, and sustainable development. Yeah, that the state's history is an important topic for understanding post-independence integration and regional identity in India in our UPSC angle, remember. So now majority points I think you understood. That is state, of course, in 1987, separate state like that. And this is Operation Vijay, but that's in 1961, remember, my youngsters. Clear, please? Very excellent point in this case. So now you will just have definitely say all the answers of this Goa questions, of course. Yeah, now 26th question I'm taking here. Goa was liberated from Portuguese rule through which operation? That's Operation Vijay. The same name we kept for other things also. Yeah, you know that is what Kargil and everything is there. Operation Vijay is a very important name. That same thing we kept for this also. Goa became India's 25th state in 1961, 1967, 1987. The major point here, 25th state is an important word. So that is what actually liberated is different case. I just mentioned that. Now what is all? Answer is 1987 bit. And today's, of course, headlines, every news, of course, almost all newspapers covered also, because Supreme Court ordered, right, all the high courts, the major point is this only, to immediately, what is that, pronounce a judgment within how many months of time is the question beta. The Supreme Court recently directed high courts to pronounce reserved judgments within how many months of time? Yeah, max 3 months. That's a major point. Within 3 months, of course, you have to clear the completely what just you kept pending of that, something like that. You reserve the judgment. Just please clear it immediately within 3 months. That's a major point from our extraordinary CJI. That's, Justice Suryakant. Then, beta, which fundamental rights are most directly affected by delays in bail order? Even we have mentioned one that, of course, yeah, delay is ultimately a deny. So that's a major point here. Even we have taken that statement also here. In the case, in the first one, I'll just repeat the same point here, beta, because Supreme Court directs timely pronouncement of judgments, because that's very important statement in this case, of course. Yes, justice delay is nothing but ultimately what, the very important point. I'll read everything, beta. In a significant step towards strengthening judicial accountability and ensuring speedy justice, the Supreme Court directed all high courts across the country to pronounce judgments within 3 months of reserving them. The court observed that excessive delays in delivering judgments can cause irreparable harm to litigants and weaken public confidence in the judicial system. a bench headed by CJI Suryakant emphasized that cases involving personal liberty deserve urgent attention. It stands that bail orders should ideally be pronounced on the same day, and if reserved, must be uploaded by the next day. The court further directed that orders granting bail or suspending sentences should be communicated immediately to jail authorities so that eligible prisoners are released without unnecessary delay. Beta. That's very important point. Of course, you remember the development in this case, what actually, yes, is particularly important in the context of the huge blocking. There's a huge backlog of cases in Indian courts, and reflects the constitutional principle that justice delayed is justice denied. You remember in the UPSC angle, I think you know how much important it is. Yeah, friends, of course you will answer these questions. And before I'll do one thing. I'll tell you one more point also. PM Surya Ghar. It's a very fantastic yojana, right? Because of course in the examination point of view, NEET, of course, just take the screenshot of it. It's not a matter and you know everything. Now come to the point here. But in this one, remember, PM Surya Ghar Yojana crosses 40 lakh households. It's a really renewable energy point of view, right? Because now you know the situation and what India is facing because of all crises. In fact, between this Iran and still the conflict is going on, right? And it's a very big issue for our Israel and Iran fight at the same time, intervening, of course, by USA. It's a very serious issue, and India is ultimately facing so much of issue in the point of petrol, diesel, all the problems. So that is what now, in future, we shouldn't be that. And in that case, of course, EV vehicles were ultimately encouraging. So, but in this one more point also, my youngsters, because renewable energy, that's in India almost 40 lakh households, they kept this one, but it's very important point, please. So 40 lakh households adopted rooftop solar systems under PM Surya Ghar scheme, remember. Yes, that's a very big thing, please. How many households in place now you can say. And now this is what actually, according to the Mr. Prahalad Joshi, what he mentioned. As a consumer, of course, previously these were the consumers. Now they have become what you can say the producers of energy, please. That's a very big development, my youngsters. And India's ultimately the goal is that the success of scheme aligns with India's larger objective of achieving 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel energy capacity by 2030 and progressing towards its net zero target by 2070. This indicates, I think, you understood what's the importance of this topic particularly, right? Very important point, my youngsters. So by 2030, what's our goal? So our objective is to achieve 500 gigawatts of renewable energy, my youngsters. That's called as non-fossil fuel energy. At the same time, net zero, the India target, of course, we have targeted this till by 2070. There must be what you can say, please, net zero. That's a big development in the climatic applications and the climate change also. So these are the basic. Upon this one I'll go to the questions now. So this is what I'm following that immediately after just what concern the question. If time permits, I will come back and I'll tell you everything that. Now come to the point. Yes, these two things I'll tell you. Which fundamental right is mostly directly affected by delay in bail orders? But the answer, I think, a right to life. So option is, what do you say that? Article 21. And Article 21 guarantees what? Right to life and personal liberty. Yes, which is very important, which includes speedy justice also, remember. Then come to the point here. PM Surya Ghar Yojana is primarily related to rural housing, rooftop solar energy, just I have mentioned in my passage. So option is, what is that, beta? Rooftop solar installations, in fact, called as energy. Then under Prime Minister Surya Ghar scheme, recently, how many households adopted rooftop solar? I just mentioned that also, 40 lakh. Now, beta, please, very important point in this case also, Skyroot. Not Skyroot is different. Now it is Skycast. Skycast, recently launched in India, is associated with space exploration, aviation weather monitoring, missile defense, and agriculture forecasting. But it is what you say, aviation weather monitoring. So what's the reason in this way? Basically, it is what you say. Example, in winter season, flights delay because of the weather and all. So that's a big development. I'll just go to that information also to you, my friends. It's a very fantastic data we have. That's the reason you have to go through Pakka PIB's data. Otherwise, it's impossible what people faced in 2026 UPSC, and you will also face the same problem. Please don't go with, because plans should be different. I'm going to make out one video upon that thing also. So please focus upon all the radio news, DD news or PIB, right? Anything, any of all the things are same place. Now, mission Mausam and launch of Skycast. India has launched its first integrated next generation aviation weather and fog monitoring system known as Skycast under the mission Mausam program. Under the mission Mausam program, the system was enacted by Union Minister Jitendra Singh at Indira Gandhi International Airport in New Delhi. Skycast is designed to improve aviation safety by providing real-time weather monitoring, fog prediction, and forecasting of adverse weather events. Dense fog during winter months often causes flight delays and cancellations in northern India, resulting in significant economic losses and inconvenience to passengers. With climate change increasing the frequency of extreme weather events, advanced forecasting systems are becoming increasingly important for disaster preparedness and transportation management. So now I think you understood very important part. This initiative demonstrates how science and technology can be used to build climate resilient infrastructure and improve public services. This is what I think in the UPSC angle, it's a very important point, friends. So now you just simply go to the other one, of course. Now the questions again. So this is a beautiful thing, what we have decided. Now it's a matter of what, half an hour, if you spend your day, just what, at least 40-30 minutes or 40 minutes max, that's what that day's current affairs will be finished. Now come to the point. Skycast was launched under which mission? Mission Shakti, Mission Surya, Mission Mausam. No need of telling you the answer, I think you know already. Mission Mausam. Then which airport became the first to deploy Skycast? Yes, Indira Gandhi International Airport in New Delhi. Then according to RBI's annual report, India's GDP growth during 25-26 was really good, Nana. It's a very fantastic point here. So RBI reported India's growth rate at 7.6%. This is also there, of course. Which factor was identified by RBI as a major risk to global growth? Option A, population growth. B, urbanization. C, geopolitical conflicts. It's a problem India is facing, unfortunately, because of this, what you can say, Iran and Israel war. Very bad thing. So it's not only India, majority nations are facing that. The problem is that which weather phenomenon is often associated with weaker monsoon conditions in India? La Nina, El Nino, polar vortex. Next, you understood Madden, Julian oscillation. Better answer for this question, of course, El Nino or El Nino, you call anything that. So this year, that's the reason. And weather forecasting agency, IMD, is expecting very low monsoon this year in India. So be cautious, just plan accordingly, my youngsters. Institutional deliveries in India, according to NFHS 6 increased. What is NFHS, sir? Yes, I have taken that question also. But NFHS stands for National Family Health Survey. Really extraordinary thing, of course. Now almost all the deliveries. In those days, in olden days, how women suffered and so many deaths occurred because of at the time of deliveries. So now institutional deliveries, really fantastic thing. That how much percentage? It's not a small number, please. Even I have taken that data also. Really superb data it is, and it is very important for our UPSC examination. And of course, even where we have passage data like CLAT and other exams also. National Family Health Survey 6 highlights India's social progress. It's really good, my dear. The latest National Family Survey indicates substantial progress in India's maternal and child health indicators. Institutional deliveries have increased from 88.6% to 90.6%, reflecting improved access to healthcare facilities. Yes, antenatal care coverage also. Yes, antenatal. Yes, prenatal, yeah. Antenatal, same. The antenatal care coverage has also expanded significantly, while child vaccination rates continue to remain above 96%. One of the most notable findings is the rapid increase in women's digital participation, with internet usage among women nearly doubling from 33% to 64.3%. The survey also reports that India's total fertility rate has stabilized is a very important point, please, at 2.0, that's 2.0, close to replacement level fertility. These improvements demonstrate the impact of government initiatives such as Ayushman Bharat, Mission Parivar Vikas, and maternal health programs. You remember, so these the findings are significant because they reflect progress towards achieving sustainable development goal, SDGs. But this is what you can say. I think we have 17 SDGs. Yeah, United Nations Organization, by 30 we have to achieve these things like that they mentioned. So even I will mention those also just a moment. I'll go to the question back again. This now I think you understood what is that national, yes, health point of view. This is a question here. National Family Health Survey stands for NFHS beta. Now come to the point of based on this. I just mentioned India's total fertility rate according to NFHS 6 is 2.0. Just we have mentioned it also. Now come to the point. Institutional deliveries in India according to NFHS 6 increased to 82.4, 86.7, and better 90.6. That's confirmed answer, my youngsters. So this is a very good question, my friends. So now go to question number 14th. The National Seed Reserve established by the government contains 1 lakh quintals. At the same time, beta 1.24 lakh quintal, 1 lakh quintals, 1.24 lakh quintals, and 1.74 lakh quintals, 2 lakh quintals. The answer for this question is 1.7 lakh quintals. Of course, seed reserves already there. Very fantastic thing that, because now the monsoon within days of time, so the farmers should get the proper seed. That's a major intention of the government. Which ministry announced the National Seed Reserve? Option A, Rural Development Ministry, Agriculture Ministry, Food Processing Industry, and Commerce Ministry. But the answer for this question, of course, Agriculture Ministry, my youngsters. Then the newly announced quadripartite security grid relates to. It's ultimately 4 applications. Even I'll mention that also just a moment. So the newly itself, our extraordinary, you can say, Home Minister is of course focusing on these things very seriously, and the steps taken, and of course now already the operation started by BSF in West Bengal, of course in Gujarat, of course in all this what you can say border states. Very fantastically we are now planning, because with the technology, Israel technology, we are smart fencing, right? That's a very fantastic thing, that, and surveillance by drones, of course, even almost with the gap of half kilometer, if I am not wrong, the person, if anybody comes, major focusing upon infiltrators. If anybody planning to enter my country, automatically the camera will catch it. Or you can say the surveillance, whatever the instrument is going to be used. That's a big thing, please. So quadripartite security grid relates to cyber security, coastal security, border security, financial security. The answer for this is border security better. Now, I'll just go through the again information, because of our, even if I tell information, people feel bored in the beginning. Otherwise, what you say, even if I tell that continuously, that also. So that's we have decided better, of course, by the, of course, under the students of mine, they told it, right? So better this way, right? Fantastic. Quadripartite security grid for border management. The Union Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, announced a major transformation in India border management strategy through the introduction of quadripartite. I'll repeat, quadripartite security grid. Quadripartite security grid. The new model seeks to integrate citizens, civil administration, local police, and security forces into a coordinated framework for border protection. It's a duty of everybody, my youngsters. If anybody watches something in the street or somewhere, because unfortunately the infiltrators, especially from Bangladesh, spread to all parts of the country. Majority people in different states, they went from West Bengal to other places also. Unfortunately, the previous government gave all the Aadhaar card and everything, that example. Same, they may have come to, they may simply entered Telangana, and they may be here also. So be cautious, even if you observe any Bangladeshis, purely the infiltrators. So just inform the concerned authorities. That's a major point, of course, to protect our nation. So my youngsters, border protection is a major point in this case. Advanced technologies such as drones, radars, and smart fencing will be used to create leak-proof security system. The initiative aims to address challenges such as illegal immigration, smuggling, infiltration, and cross-border terrorism, my youngsters. It's a purely threat to the nation. So please don't feel it's nothing for me or not for me like that. It's your duty to do it. Do that's it. By involving local communities and adapting technological solutions, the government seeks to move beyond traditional border guarding towards a comprehensive model of territorial security, remember. The development is particularly important given India's extensive land borders and complex security environment. But almost I told you in my previous video, the previous MCQs, Bangladesh. With Bangladesh, we have the longest border. Very unfortunate because previous government didn't focus on anything upon it. Now we are suffering like anything. According to data, lakhs of people are leaving this country. And every day, according to Home Minister's statement yesterday, minimum 5 to 10,000 people are going out from my country because of what? They are not of my own people. They're not the citizens of this country, please. Infiltrators should go to their own place. That's the same thing happening now. Which technology is not part of the new border security model? Option A, new, yes, not in place. I mentioned there drones, radars, smart fencing, and better quantum computers. This is not the answer for this question, please. And drones are, of course, a part of it. Radars and smart fencing is a major operation of this, is what you call the new, border security model. The BSF, Border Security Force, operates under which ministry? Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs. Don't feel that is not External Affairs, it's Home Affairs. B, that is the answer, please. Semiconductor substance manufacturing technology will be brought to India through an agreement involving Google, Microsoft, Intel, or IBM. Better answer is Intel in this case. Of course, information also there. Semiconductors, yes, substrates are critical for manufacturing fertilizers, microchips, vaccines, and batteries. Better answer is microchips, my youngsters. Which country's president Min Aung Hlaing is visiting India? Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar, Vietnam. Better, it's really a very big development with our neighboring nation, Myanmar. There is, there is no democratic, in fact, government. Elected government is not there. Now, military junta, according to majority news. So therefore, what do you say? But that person came to India. That really development in that our lookist policy, or you can say that neighborhood policy. Right? That's a very important point to my youngsters, because the concerned minister, concerned head of the nation has, of course, came this way. That fellow came to India. Really, really big thing that. And is going to meet our external affairs minister also, please. Now, I think by this time it's finished, if I'm not wrong. Which country's president is that is visiting India is Myanmar. Myanmar is crucial for India. India's Look West policy, Act East policy, Neighborhood First policy. Yes, at the same time, better Sagar vision only. Act East policy. Act East policy, very important point. Of course, Neighborhood First policy, that's a different case. Now, present scenario is this one here. But question number 23, Kaladan multi-modal transit project connects India with Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Myanmar. Answer is, people can say Myanmar also, no problem, anything is. It's a noun. Myanmar, or you call Myanmar, I don't mind of it. So option is this bit. And I've covered 27 questions also, not 28. The Special Intensive Revision, SIR, of electoral rolls is conducted by Parliament, Law Commission, Election Commission of India, Niti Aayog. There is no question of asking this question. I asked you many times this one. It's Election Commission of India under Article 324. The same thing that. Article 324 deals with Finance Commission, Election Commission, Supreme Court. Answer is, but Supreme Court is of course different case. A Finance Commission is, everything has their own articles. Example, Finance Commission Article 280, right? And 124 is of course Supreme Court. CAG, a different article, and Election Commission is the same article. What is that here? 324. That's a major point, please. Yeah, now come to the point. India has asked oil companies to maintain LPG reserves for 15 days, 20 days, 30 days. Yes, minimum 30 days, please. That is a major point to all state-owned companies. You can say that HPCL and BPCL, everything is there. Now, the Asian Under-20 Athletics Championships 2026 were held in which place? Beijing, Tokyo, at the same time, beta, Hong Kong and Seoul. No doubt the answer is Hong Kong. Pooja Singh won gold in the same, of course, point of view. That is what long jump or high jump or triple jump, exactly high jump beta. 32nd is option B letter. Then Nitin Gupta won gold in 100 meter sprint, marathon, race walk. You can say that is decathlon. Answer for this question beta, it is race walk. C answer, correct answer for this. Then go to question number 34. Rahul Jakha won gold in decathlon, shot put, high jump and hurdles. Better answer for this question, of course, decathlon. Then Nipam won a medal in women's 100 meters, women's 200 meters, women's long jump and women's relay. It's 100 meters women's none. So option is A. SDG is directly related to mental health. It's maternal health. I'm very sorry. Yes, which SDG? I told you now we have 17 SDGs are there. Under, of course, United Nations. By 2030, we have to achieve these things better. Like, first one, if I take is no poverty. Second is what? Zero hunger. The third, you can say, good health and well-being better. So, maternal health comes under SDG 3. Even if you take, of course, fourth is quality education and fifth is what you can say gender equality, like that we have. So, option is, now please focus upon 17 SDGs. Is very important for UPSC. That's 20 by 2030. All the nations should achieve these, like that. They mentioned by United Nations. Now, so this is what you call 37th question. PM Surya Ghar scheme contributes mostly directly to blue economy, circular economy, green energy transition. Exactly for this question, better green energy transition. Yes, zero emissions, no carbon emission. That's a concept here. Which body publishes India's monetary policy? Obviously, RBI. Option is B. Then come to the point of 39th question. The concept of justice delayed is justice denied. I'll repeat, the concept of justice delayed is justice denied is associated with judicial accountability, federalism, and better, separation of powers is not the answer, judicial accountability only. Then which ministry launched AIME Academy? Sir, what is this, sir? AI stands for, no doubt, AI only. Right? M for artificial intelligence, my dear. AI Media Entertainment Academy. Media Entertainment Academy, right? Option A, Education Ministry. B, Information and Broadcasting Ministry. Exactly right answer, of course. But this is what you call, actually speaking, of course, Information and Broadcasting Ministry. But this AIME Academy by IIMC. IIMC what? Indian Institute of Mass Communication. So that is what actually we have, like IITs for mass communication. We have this IIMC. So this option is B better. Now, extra questions here. One, AIME Academy is related to artificial intelligence in media, space technology, defense production. Already you know the answer for this is, I mentioned AI stands for artificial intelligence. So option is A. Second extra question. Yeah, babesiosis recently news regarding lion cub deaths is primarily transmitted through mosquitoes, B, ticks, C, files, D, fleas. But the answer is ticks. Now, the last question of the day. Gir forest is famous for Bengal tigers, one-horned rhinoceros, Asiatic lions, snow leopard. But the answer is Asiatic lions. So these are the very fantastic questions I have covered, my youngsters. And just please take the screenshot of the information which I have gathered by this. I have mentioned some issues already. Now, the first point already completed, right? This is over better. And the second is not needed regarding the examination point of view. Third already I have mentioned. Fourth also I have told you. There's fifth point, you take it. Annual report, screenshot number 1. IMD is okay. Weak monsoon is not so important. Sixth one I have mentioned already. Now, but eighth you take it. Establishment of National Seed Reserve. Now, ninth already I have covered. 10th you take it. Strengthening India's semiconductor ecosystem. That is what? 3 DGs. Now, because of 3D glass, says there is a D for glass, G for glass it is. So therefore, what do you call systems for substrate? Very fantastic to take that one also. Now, I told you this 11th point also, Myanmar president visit to India. And 12th question already, 12th information already covered. 13th SIR also you know well. And in Odisha now we are going to have better. And that India's energy security Hamid West Asia analysis, and the last is this one, you take it. So these are the beautiful things, of course, on May 30th. I've tried my best to, of course, give you the very fantastic current affairs, my friends. Please share this video to many people. Now, those who are writing and those who are planning for UPSC or any competitive examination, mandatory to focus upon government data. That's very important. A majority of people witnessed in 20. Of course, this point I'm telling from 2017 onwards. I'm every day telling that please listen to the news that like that. But unfortunately, people are not following anyhow. Now, very important news I've covered. Have a great time. We'll meet with another video tomorrow. Bye-bye, my youngsters.